and welcome back to my recaps for the Love of DILFs. And here we are at episode 4. So the morning after the elimination, everybody is really sad that Daddy Alex left, especially Tony, Prince Charming Tony. However, Tokyo decides to call out Prince Charming Tony for judging Alex and his sex work. Though I still think that Prince Charming Tony just wanted to be educated on Daddy Alex's sex work and not necessarily judging him for it. So this back and forth got stupid and devolved into Prince Charming Tony and Tokyo criticizing each other's clothes. So Tokyo had on this bucket hat that apparently was pretty colorful, if I remember correctly. And I wrote this down. Prince Charming Tony called Tokyo with the bucket hat Gay Gilligan lost in a blender. As much as Prince Charming Tony is ridiculous with his fairy tale life and goals, his one-liners are pretty spectacular. So excellent. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Stormy shuts this whole back and forth with Tokyo and Tony down. It gets very awkward. Even Mateo gets up and kind of removes himself from the situation because it's just awkward and uncomfortable for everybody. So Stormy shuts it down, and we have a new daddy arriving. The new daddy is Lariah. He is from Florida and New York. And Himbo Matt is very, very much into Lariah, which worries Jeffrey a little bit because Jeffrey's really into Matt. We'll see. Our second surprise of the day is that there's a new himbo arriving as well. And the new himbo is DeMilo. And he is 27 from Pennsylvania. And he says he's looking for something genuine. We'll see. It seems like Charles is into DeMilo. So let's see if they hit it off. Lariah and DeMilo. Ooh, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? Lariah and DeMilo get to pick their dates. So Lariah picks Matt, which makes Jeffrey very, very sad. Biscuit is also playing with his ball again. I'm sorry for the noise. DeMilo picks Gordon to go on the date, but they are not vibing at all. So it's just kind of like, ooh, this is uncomfortable to watch. So big ol' no to that. However, Lariah and Matt, they're vibing. Bad news for Jeffrey. While the himbo and daddy take out their new dates, my God, oh, he's coming. What are you doing? What? You want to talk about the DILFs? Are you a himbo or a DILF? I think you're distinguished. Yeah, he's a daddy. Biscuit's a daddy and Tia's a himbo. While DeMilo and Lariah are on their dates with Matt and Gordon respectively, Stormy talks to all of the singles and tries to see how everybody's feeling, how everybody's jiving, and also to try and put a kibosh on that stupid little fight between Tokyo and Prince Charming Tony. Here's where things get actually pretty vulnerable and emotional. So we start with Jeffrey, who talks about his trauma from previous partners cheating on him. And he's very, very grateful for the friends in this new community and in the DILF house. So he can feel at home and more accepted in this community. So Jeffrey has a very emotional release, and that's very nice. Charles also opens up about how he typically controls relationships and how he keeps people who he really likes at a distance, like physical distance, long distance. And so that's how he protects himself. So he wants to break down those walls and actually find love and let somebody in and not keep them at arm's length, both, emotionally and physically. Prince Charming Tony is worried that he's going to be alone forever. He's like, what, 22, 23, something very, very young. And I know we were all very idealistic at that age and worried that we're going to be alone forever. But so he's worried he's going to be alone forever, and he doesn't want to be at weddings and being asked, oh, when are you going to get married? When are you going to find somebody? So I get it. So he opens up about wanting somebody to embrace the imperfections, and him also to embrace the imperfections and not be so tainted by those Disney colored glasses all the time. Things get really deep when Mateo starts to open up and expresses how he was abused when he was a child and how he bottled up all those emotions and how this is a very new experience for him and how, you know, how difficult it is to let his guard down and be vulnerable and let other people in. And this really resonates with Stormy because she openly admits that she was also abused when she was 9 years old, and how that affected her transition into the porn industry, and then how people looked at her for being in the porn industry and also having come from that background. So it was a very moving moment, which I have never seen something like that on any other dating show. So kudos to the For Love of DILFs team for actually allowing these people to open up to each other and to the world via television, you know, and for us to see some of these issues and topics that don't necessarily get talked about very often. So it was a very moving moment. The challenge of the episode is beer pong in the pool. It's like not actually beer pong. It's like they have the little triangle set up with a bunch of cups, and they just throw as many ping pong balls into the cups as possible, and whoever gets the most in balls in the cups wins a special date. So all of the daddies and himbos, I have a hair. I have one hair that's like in my face. There it is. There it is. I blame Biscuit. So the himbos are paired up with a daddy, and we have Nathan and Bobby, Matt and Lariah, Tokyo and Big Daddy Tony, Mateo and Gordon, Milo and Charles. I'm sorry, DeMilo and Charles. DeMilo and Charles. And Prince Charming Tony and Jeffrey. And the winner of the beer pong challenge is Mateo and Gordon. As a reward for winning the beer pong challenge, Mateo and Gordon get a psychic and tarot card reading. And so they get to go on this nice date, and the psychic, the reader, is very optimistic about their relationship, and so it extends to them. You know, they're very optimistic, very hopeful, and it's going in a good direction. Before the eliminations, while Mateo and Gordon are on their dates, Jeffrey asks Lariah and Matt if they're actually going to be a thing now and if Jeffrey should kind of move on. And Matt basically confesses to Jeffrey that Matt and Lariah did kind of hook up on their date. So that means that Jeffrey he's a little sad, but he's going to move on, and it didn't go very well because breakups never do. And it wasn't really a long-term relationship, but still, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's emotional, it's sad. So Jeffrey gets the hint and goes off to talk to other people in the house. Meanwhile, Lariah and Matt are like, yes, finally. And then they're just like, bleh, making out like hardcore. So things are going well for them. Sucks for Jeffrey though. Other tidbits is that DeMilo seems pretty ambivalent about the whole situation and getting to know people. He's not really trying very much. And Tokyo tries to make amends with Prince Charming Tony, and it just seems like they don't have any ill will. It just seemed to get out of hand for some weird reason, and so I guess they're okay now, or they're just okay to not be okay together. Eliminations. So we find out that everyone will be voting for the himbo to get kicked off this episode. So the first himbo to 7 votes is going to be eliminated. basically the writing is on the wall for DeMilo because he didn't make any effort to get to know anybody, any of the daddies or any of the himbos, to be honest. He was just very standoffish about the whole thing. So he got to 7 first and he left. But he didn't give an F. He was like, peace, I'm out. So whatever. Nobody was sad, DeMilo or the house. So it is what it is. And with that, we're halfway through for the Love of DILFs. I think there's 8 episodes. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you know when the next recap is live. And please let me know, who are your favorite couples? What do you think? What do you think of the drama? Thanks, and see you next time.